want to separate out Juneteenth as a federal holiday and Juneteenth as the historical commemoration of our people's freedom. Because as I've been saying to people in the last 24 hours, we've been doing Juneteenth. The federal government just caught up to the rest of us. So I think it's really important for people to understand that. We've been doing this and we've been celebrating our history and honoring our ancestors. And why I think it's important now is because finally the United States government has officially come out and said race matters, which is what we have been telling them for centuries, that race matters. And now they are finally admitting that it does. And I want us to use this as a leverage point. You heard Nikichi say earlier that yes, we have this holiday, and that's all well and good. I think it is a good thing. But we need them to do more than just give us a holiday. You know, we had this before. If we go back to the last time we had a federal holiday put on the books, it was MLK Day, as we all know. And at that time, it was 1983. Ronald Reagan was the president. The unemployment rate for Black folks was sky high. The median income for Black folks in comparison to whites was extremely low. We were dealing with Reagan's efforts to paint our people as criminals, as welfare queens. So there was work to be done, even though he used a pen and he gave us that holiday. And my message to this Congress is do not repeat the mistakes of the past. Yes, we have this holiday, but Black folks are dying in the streets at the hand of white police officers. Our folks are suffering disparate health impacts as a result of COVID, as a result of us not having the healthcare systems in place that we need to take care of our families. We still have food deserts in our communities. We still have unhealthy drinking water. We still have schools that are not educating our children. And so to me, Juneteenth is a starting off point for us really pushing this government to be true to its promises. And its promises that were made to people when this country was founded is that we would have equality and justice for all. And so we have to demand that. And we have to tell them, you have now used the stroke of the pen, President Biden, to say this is important. Now show us through your actions. And for us at Human Rights Watch, why this is so important is for myriad reasons. You know, one of the reasons I came to Human Rights Watch is because I wanted people to see that the issues around race were indeed human rights issues, as well as civil rights and social justice issues. There are people who said to me when I came to Human Rights Watch, well, now you're leaving your civil rights career behind. And I look at them like they're crazy when they say that to me. And I said, understand and know your history. Issues around race and justice are human rights issues. These two movements are inextricably linked. And so Juneteenth and what it represents and fighting for racial justice is really the grounding for the work in our US program at Human Rights Watch. Our work on reparation, the work we are doing partnering with families and communities in Tulsa. We went to Tulsa when Terrence Crutcher was originally shot and killed in 2016 because we knew there was a problem with policing and how the white government there was treating the Black community. We have been working on issues around surveillance and surveillance of Black and brown people because those are human rights violations. We work on immigration because we like to say and remind people loudly and clearly that immigration is about the full diaspora, that there are Black immigrant communities who are suffering, that there are Black immigrant communities who have to be represented. We work on issues around voting because we know that the biggest opportunity you have to express your voice in this country is through the ballot box. So for us, Juneteenth is what I like to call the connective tissue that brings all of these issues into perspective and grounds the work that we are doing at Human Rights Watch. As I said to my team when I came on board, everything we do is about race. And if it is not grounded in race, then we are not really doing the work of the US program. And so for us, that is our guiding force and our guiding principle. And it emanates in everything that we do and everything that we work on. And I tell my team, if when you bring a new project to me, if you can't tell me how this connects to race, then it's not something that we need to be doing. And I think that's actually the litmus test that our government needs to be putting forth. what are we doing when it comes to poverty and economic inequality? What are we doing when it comes to housing, when it comes to education? And if we are not grounding that in how it's going to deal with the ugly and racist history of this country, then we're not doing our job.